Welcome, everybody, to our second week of the Summer Tag Tournament. We've got an episode of Club Baroness podcast here for you, and tonight we've got Kanye, Algol, Mantis, and Esper51, if you all want to say hi.
Hello,
What's
guys.
up, guys?
Hey, guys.
And so we're going to be discussing round one matchups here tonight, and then we'll go over round two. We'll be doing a recap of those. Let me go ahead and pull up the round one matchups here, and I'll put it on a little notepad so we can see it for those in the recording. All right, so the first matchup we've got here, we're just going to go ahead and dive right on in, guys. We had Filthy and Daffy versus Evolution and Goat. So who was able to catch that match out of you guys?
I pretty much watched everything, so I'm good there.
Yeah, I think I watched that one. That one was a
I
pretty
watched
good
it,
one.
yeah.
All right, Esper, why don't you take that one for us then?
So that one was just a really just nail-biting match because I really thought that Evolution was going to lose that one because there were quite a few hiccups on Goat's side. Maybe because he was rusty, I'm not sure, but the ending on that one was just a complete turnaround for me. I wasn't expecting them to pull that.
Yeah, it was the reverse sweep. They went down 0-2 for the 3-0 sweep after. It's a rough series. So what are some of you guys' thoughts on that? On the series?
One of the big things that stuck out pretty much was you sitting there yelling for the turbulence. You know, I kind of like that moment, and it proved kind of decisive too.
Turbulence.
I think I yelled about that one in the Kanye match, too. I'm trying to remember what I was yelling about. Turbulence in the Evolution
it was
Goat.
on Lane. It was on Lane.
Yeah, what was I yelling about Turbulence in this one? I forget.
Tiger strength.
Oh, to Turbulence, the Tiger Strength. Oh, yeah, during the pickup. Yeah.
It was a close match. I actually thought Daffy and Filthy were going to win it, too.
Yeah, they looked really good out of the gate. Goat and Evolution seemed to be having a little bit of hiccups in it. And I know Evolution was a little disillusioned from it because he felt like he had done so much better against that team in the previous tournament to struggle here. But I think it's worth mentioning Daffy's gotten a lot better since the last tournament.
Yeah, he's been playing me every night.
Well, then I don't know how he got any better.
Yeah, I've played Daffy quite frequently, actually. He's gotten a lot better. He's still got a ways to go, but he's definitely come way far from when I first met him.
Yeah, I think he's becoming a more complete player, and it was a lot of fun to watch that matchup. I'd be interesting to see them meet up again a couple weeks deeper into the tournament, see a grudge rematch there.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
So I guess we'll move on then. If nobody has anything else they want to add to that one. It was actually my match with PDDCM versus Some Poor Choices and Kamikaze Mario. Did you guys get a chance on that to catch that one?
Oh, yeah.
I think I saw some of it. I saw the endings of it, so I know how it ended, but I didn't see it from start to finish.
All right. Well, how about you take this one for us, Kanye?
All right, this one, I was a little upset because I was looking forward for the Palace match, which the title said we actually lost on Palace or something like that.
No, he said they didn't win on Palace.
Oh, they didn't win. Yeah, I was like, all right. And then I seen the time on the video. I'm like, wait, there's no way in hell they're gonna play on Palace.
I saw that too, man. I was disappointed.
I thought that was a pretty good troll.
Yeah, it was. It got me.
You know what was a little bit unexpected? You played that one very straight, Bregan. Like, you guys didn't use a lot of jank or anything like that, and it just, you got them done quick. Felt
Yeah,
routine.
it worked.
I mean, that's usually how we play it.
Yeah, it was pretty good, solid back and forth match.
Where was the fourth?
Hey, choices. He was trying to fight back.
All right. Does anybody have anything else they want to chime in on that one?
Nah, we'll toss that one to the side. Let's keep going.
Yeah, let's head on down the list. Algol, obviously you played in this one. Esper and Kanye, did you get a chance to catch this next matchup? Algol, Mantis, and Sardonic Jester versus Ska Boss and War Machine?
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
I've got something to say about this one.
All right, how about you take it then?
So,
Just
not
laughing.
shortly before these guys played their match against War Machine and Skabos, I played with them with, I think it was Bromeo or some random person, I can't remember, but they were doing, like, fantastic. So it actually surprised me that they lost this one.
Same here.
Yeah, like, I was really expecting Mantis and Jester to, like, take this one, like, 3-0. Like, they were doing, like, awesome.
One thing I will say, and I'm not going to blame the caster curse, but there was a lot of stuff kind of working against us that we found out. But you know, they won it fair and square. We did
Yeah.
some mistakes that just shouldn't have been done.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the next one though.
Yeah, there's always next time.
Yeah, I mentioned this to Algol earlier. He was actually, when I was doing the round 2 matchups, it was one permutation off from it being a rematch between those two teams. We almost got to see them back to
Again.
back. And I think that would have been fantastic to see the grudge match.
Oh, I did have one other thing too. I don't know if they realized it, just because on Phantom Dusted I used a different name. It's been mentioned a few times before. But the deck that was used was a variant of one I had posted. So that was great on that Pano match, finding that out afterwards.
Kanye, did you catch that match at all?
Yeah, like Esper said, I was surprised to see them lose that one too, because me and Zexus were playing them, and they're actually doing pretty good against us. They're beating us a couple rounds, so I was surprised to see them lose that one.
I agree.
Well, you got to give it to Scott Boss and War Machine. They stepped up and
Yeah.
they were able to hang in there and get the damage down. We saw certain moves really getting them a lot of distance as well. I think if Scott Boss cleans up some of those arsenals too, anybody who was watching saw his arsenals are a little heavy skill-wise. That could be a scary team in their own right.
Yeah,
To be
they
Yeah.
fair
like
though,
to throw
War
a lot
Machine
of
had
heavy
a boost
damage.
mine in almost every match for him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at those arsenals. There's a lot of things that could easily be trimmed from Ska Boss's arsenals to just make them a lot more streamlined, I think.
Yeah, I think Skabos is just still learning, kind of the right way to build things, and he's just still experimenting because he's fairly new from what I know.
Yeah, I mean, War Machine, I felt like, was kind of the backbone in that series. He did really well, and they just seemed to have pretty good synergy when it came down to protecting against corpse runs and taking down the pickups. I felt like they did pretty well just in their coordination, so they seem to have some natural synergy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
speaking
I
of
agree.
synergy, moving into our next people, I actually think that's a perfect thing to bring up. If you want to
Yeah.
introduce them.
Yeah, let's talk about it. We got Mech Nigel and Jazz Cabbage versus Doom and Esper, who we have here with us. Esper, the expert in finding a way to go and die solo on Sign.
Hell yeah.
Well, on the
That's what I
synergy,
did.
man, I wasn't talking about Doom and Esper. I say Mech Nigel and Jazz, you guys, that combo in Palace started out great. I started rooting from you, like this corner for you guys instantly.
Yeah, I mean, I was
Yeah.
rooting for him too, and then they pulled off the win on Sign. That was massive. I loved it.
Everybody thought it was gonna be 3-0, and Nigel and Jazz they came through with that one win, prove everybody wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if we're
Yeah.
talking about, quick, natural synergy, yeah, Mech Nigel and Jazz Cabbage are a good example, but the bad example, I gotta
Doom
say,
and
was
Esper.
Doom and Esper. They are the anti-example initially so
Well-
far about natural synergy. So, would you say that was uncharacteristic of how your matches have been going?
What, the fact that I don't have any synergy or that I'm a bad teammate?
No, I meant the lack of synergy you guys had in that matchup.
I mean, that's just what I do, I'm not. I tell everybody before I even start playing, I'm not good at tag to begin with. So I mean, on top of the fact that there was a lot going on here, and then what was going on in the game, I mean, things just messed up. I died at a very bad spot right there, and Doom wasn't able to get to me.
I mean, the
remember
map
one thing,
basically
Esper.
worked against you.
Yeah.
I'd really like to see Mech Nigel and Jazz 6 months from now, though. I do feel like they have a natural synergy that if they keep developing, is going to be great.
Of course, yeah, they're a good team, and that they have the backbone to make it even better if they keep practicing together.
Yeah. Well, I think it'll be a lot of fun to watch them, but I think I'm really excited still to see you and Doom as well. I think anybody's excited to watch matches involving Doom, but I really want to see if you guys are able to pull it together and get that synergy going because you're both terrifying players individually. And I want to see you guys get that synergy. So promise me here, Esper. Promise me.
It's a lot of pressure to do this publicly, man.
Promise me that you'll develop this synergy.
I promise, man. I'm
Ascend.
gonna.
You gotta have his back, Esper.
Me and Esper. God.
You can do.
Me and Doom.
Me, myself, and Doom.
Me, myself, and Doom. We really want to win this. It'll be cool to win a tag tournament for me, but I really do hope to work out some sort of synergy and just because together, man, we can make a powerful team, and I think we can make it far if we just work out the kinks.
Oh, most definitely. One of the things that they've said about Doom before, I think it was Xanxus, he's kind of got his own style. So
Yes.
I don't know if you're more molding yourself towards his or vice versa. But
I won't say too much, but from what I've
Oh,
heard
that's
from
fair.
other people, and the fact that they say that Doom is very kind of set on his own way, and you have to kind of work with what he does. From me playing with him, that's not true. It's the complete opposite. We're kind of like 50-50 on things at this point, like, feedback and feedback. But I haven't had to change anything so far.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing more.
If
Yeah, I
see,
agree.
Like if both of you guys just like after one person, like if you guys double team, like there's no stopping you guys. Like I
Yeah.
see your pressure when you're pressuring against me, or like when he pressures me. Like I don't know. Imagine seeing both of you guys after me. I'll be like, oh shit. Oh, you guys is
Let me
fake
re-
outs. Like, because
let me
what I
return
like
to
about
lobby.
you guys, what I like about you guys, like you both are really good at manualing. Like
Uh-huh.
that's what I'm afraid of. Like if I face you guys, like you guys manualing alone is pretty dangerous.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we definitely got what it takes. We just have to keep pushing it.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a matter of getting some game time in and getting down used to being. I don't think either of you
team.
is used to playing with another player who has that much pressure,
Yes.
and so I think
Yes.
that's part of it.
Oh, hey, we
I
can
agree.
brag on them and boast all we want when we actually get to their match. Let's get past them.
Yeah, let's
No,
keep
no,
moving down the
keep-
list.
Keep
Wait,
it going,
go
guys.
back.
No. Okay, let's go.
All right, so our next matchup that we had was Mirage and Darcia versus Affin, Show, and Snowrise. You want to take this one for us, Algol?
Well, I haven't got a lot of playtime against Mirage. I played Darcia in the Leftovers tournament, ran by Affin. Snowrise was in as well. I like the latter three. They're nice guys. I've played with Affin a lot. He's fun to talk to. Pretty solid players, all in all. They know what they're doing. I say in that particular match, not too surprised. I think they're still working out some of the tag things with each other so far.
Yeah.
And if
I
I remember
actually
correctly,
didn't
that
watch
ended
this.
3-2 in favor of Mirage and Darcia, right?
It did. I do feel like Mirage is probably the better player out of those four, but it's been a little bit since I played with him. Like a very, very small amount of games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if I remember that series, 'cause I do so many of these cast and commentaries, they start to blend in my head a bit. I remember Affin and Snowrise ran a lot of coordinated bravery decisions, but they're really, really streamlined. We're talking about you hit bravery's decision and you're not down to like 9 capsules, you're down to 5.
Damn.
They cut it a little deep a few times.
Yeah,
I
and
was
so
a little
you'd,
bit
you'd
surprised.
see him hit the bravery decision. And we saw it twice in a row, Affin would bravery before he was actually able to use the vibration blaster that was in it. Which was a problem to begin with, but then also after he overwrites it, he's down to 3 capsules, and so that's actually how they lost Game 5. Is they both bravaried and they were down to like 4 and 3 capsules, and it was just like instant violent change from Mirage and Darcia, and that was it.
Well, and bravery is one of those things. Those last few skills are very hotly contested. I think everyone packs a railgun. But like I used to favor Excalibur way more. Now it's double railguns and Excalibur usually. But I like the parabolas, and I know a lot of people
Yeah.
get burned by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I'll
I
go
think
with-
bravery's good. I don't know if you ever want to run double bravery on such a large map. Like
No.
you could maybe pull it off. Like they pulled it off on City, and it worked. But I don't know if I'd ever want to run it anywhere on such a
What?
large map like Refinery or Sign or even Lane, Highway. Like none of those. And double bravery just by itself is super risky because it's exactly what happened on Refinery. It's just quick, violent change.
Yeah, and that's it.
Change or quantum decay, anything.
Yeah, I think I had a similar match versus Nathan and Wolf a tournament or two ago. They tend to run a lot of bravery on Refinery,
Bravery,
and
yeah.
I just brought violent changes, and that was it. Just popped
That was
them out.
actually something I've noticed in the new meta. Actually, is that bravery on Refinery seems to be more common.
Yeah, I think it's a common strategy, but I don't think you want to run double bravery. Period.
No. Again, yeah.
So risky. But yeah, I think we've beaten that horse quite long enough. Let's hit Painted Lemon and Tutoru versus It's Orange Baby and Game God. Did anybody get a chance to see that one?
That one I saw
Oh,
a few
a few
matches
clips.
of, but
Yeah,
I didn't
same
see the
here.
ending.
It was pretty quick, wasn't it? Like it was
Yeah.
15 minutes.
It
It was
It's
pretty
really
much a close. Yeah,
It
and
was-
that one
it was
developed
only
how
on the
I was
3-0.
expecting. I say because Game God's solid. A lot of people have played with him. He plays with just about everyone. He's pretty much the new I Will Rider, practically. And Orange Baby, everyone knows Orange.
Yeah.
I Will Rider, but without the Bitcoin references.
But with that,
Yeah, they did well. I was surprised to see the level of synergy they had. It's Orange Baby didn't lay down a single environmental that seemed to harm Game God,
Right?
and
Yeah,
he didn't quantum decay him randomly. These
I
are all
saw that.
achievements.
I saw that. I saw one of the matches you mentioned that he laid an environmental and then he took it back.
No.
You-
Bregan thought Orange put environmental and
Oh,
Game
yeah.
God went to
Game
go
God
get
was
it.
playing without the nameplates on, and so it was hard for me to tell who laid it.
Yeah, I
I
saw
say, but I'm
that.
looking for, we'll see what Lemon and Tutoru have to do. Did we ever figure out what his name, how to pronounce that properly?
I say
Comrade,
Tutoru.
Comrade Tut.
All right.
Instead of King
Comrade
Tut,
Tut.
it's Comrade Tut. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on the pronunciation. I feel like they got a long way to go. They both seem really new. It was admirable. They didn't, do terribly in that match, but I feel like they've got a long road ahead of them if they want to get competitive. They seem really new, seem like good guys. They have potential, but if they want to make a run in this tournament, they're gonna have to put some work in.
Yeah.
I just noticed right now, why is War Dog's name by War Dog by?
Oh well,
They didn't play.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they didn't have a match this week.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And I was really lazy when I made this list. I didn't write everybody's name all the way out. That's why
Alright,
yours
so
just
who's
says
next?
Kanye instead of I'm Kanye West. But
And
Lazy.
Tutoru just says Tutoru.
next match, we'll just kind of skim over this one. It was Jay
Jay
and
Murder.
Murder versus Xanxus and Zexus. They were unable to make it to the match time, and so they had to forfeit the round to Jay and Murder. So Jay and
So
Murder,
Jay and
Wow.
Murder took that one.
I was
Yeah.
actually looking forward to this match.
yeah, wins in this don't really matter much. It only really matters if you take a loss. There's no standings, and it doesn't affect the upcoming rounds whatsoever. All that matters is if you take a loss, which Xanxus and Zexus do take a loss for this round. So
So
They'll
that
bounce
does
back.
affect them.
yeah, I don't think anybody should be too worried about them. It definitely sucks that they have to take a loss this early, and one that they didn't
Yeah.
even get to they didn't really get to
Compete
fight
against.
their way. Yeah. But it is what it is. The rules are in place, and when you're not able to attend your match, that's what ends up happening. But we'll be looking forward to them in future rounds, and especially the second round, which we'll talk about that here in just a minute. And then we had
We're gonna win.
our last matchup would have been Invoker and Kanye versus
Mhm.
Ebony Scarface and Savage Sim.
So
Algo, you want to take this one for us?
I'm just gonna say it up front. I was looking forward to Jay and Xanxus's match the most, but this actually was my favorite one cast this time around. I felt like the synergy between Ebony and Savage that first round
Mhm.
was the best I've ever seen them at. And I was really surprised how things turned out.
Okay. I will say one thing: I had no doubt that Kanye was gonna take that one down at all.
Really?
Buddy.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty steep mountain to climb. I mean, Ebony is fresh off winning the 1v1 tournament, and everybody was jumping on that train that Ebony is the next thing. And
Not
we were
this guy.
looking for him to keep that going here, but in round one he's already taken a loss,
Right.
and is one that most people wouldn't have initially thought would have been one of the
Excellent.
teams that would have given him the loss.
Right. And I mean, the only reason I say that I had no doubt in Kanye is because before Kanye played Ebony, Kanye has this real great way of picking apart the weaknesses of other people's players, and Ebony has a very bad history of playing the same thing, maybe with just one or three skills to switch out. And Kanye picked up on that, and he just completely countered his style and just demolished it.
Yeah, I mean, it was still really close. I thought the reduced entropy build with using the skywalk was elegantly pulled off.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
the vicious balance almost worked as well. Pretty close matchup. I feel like a few little things there, they could have won that pretty well. If there had been a little bit more laser coverage from Invoker, and if the turbulence had gone off at the right time, I think they could have taken that one as well and gotten a 3-0.
Yeah.
I say I agree with Esper. I know a lot of people kind of pigeonhole Ebony's playing style, and to a degree that's true, but the decks that he does have usually are pretty tested. I feel like that first one on Refinery and like his standby erase, if he tweaks those are quality decks in anyone's arsenal case.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was very good builds, and even though Kanye had a very good plan, Kanye and Invoker together, it was still super close on was it Refinery and then Sign?
Yeah.
Those matches were very close. Very fun series.
Yes. One of my favorites so far.
Yeah, there's been some really fun ones just in round one. I really enjoyed your match, Algol versus Skabaus and War Machine, and then Kanye, your match versus Ebony and Savage were
Yeah.
absolutely fun to watch.
All right, so
Yeah,
more
let's-
sandals, got the bye. We'll just get that out of the way.
Dog sandals didn't have to play. So let's hit round two then. I'm going to grab that and I'll copy paste it over. And maybe I'll just get it from Discord. It'll be easier. So let's see. Our first one we have here is going to be Mech Nigel and Jazz Cabbage versus Sandal and War Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Esper, why don't you give us your thoughts on that since you played Mech Nigel?
As far as who's gonna take this, or as far as just
Yeah,
how they're
introduce the
gonna play it
matchup
out?
and then give me who you think is going to win after.
Okay. Well, McNigel and Jazz Cabbage played them. They obviously have good synergy going on. But as far as my thoughts on who's gonna take it, I have to go with Sandal and War Dog, just because I know Sandal personally is very good at coming out with some crafty arsenals, and War Dog's very aggressive.
What do the rest of you guys
See,
think about this one?
Yeah, I unfortunately have to echo Esper. I'm straight up going to predict a 3-0, but I'm still going to root for Mech and Cabbage.
Yeah.
I say I've played War Dog and Sandal both. Sandal's definitely got the edge on me mechanically, and everyone knows his rep as far as the game's information.
Yeah.
War Dog and me have a very similar play style. We're aggressive, usually getting in there, so I got to give it to them.
Yep.
What about you, Kanye? How do you feel about this one?
Well, McNigel and Jazz, yeah. I don't know anything about Jazz, but he's a newcomer, and is Jazz new too, or is he?
Yeah, he's new.
I think they're actually related.
Oh
They
yeah.
probably are. Yeah.
They have
Well, I'm gonna
the
root-
same last name.
Oh,
I'm gonna
they're
root for the
landing.
newcomers. Because they're like me and Invoker, we're newcomers, and
Yeah.
we want to take on these old school people.
Oh, they
Yeah, I
managed to kill
remember when I was
Esper
better
and
than you,
Doom.
Kanye.
Yeah, they managed to get us.
Yeah,
Then he got so
they
much
managed to
better.
get a win against Esper and Doom, but the question remains is will that synergy prove enough for the evil plots that I'm sure Sandal has been hatching ever since we invented the rules for this tournament?
Well, maybe not, but by the same token, no one expected like Shadow Shield to come out of nowhere.
Right.
You know, they might pull out some skills that are going to remake the meta. We don't know yet.
Yeah. I'll go as far as saying that I don't think they'll go 3. I think they'll be able to pull at least 1 win. I'm not just gonna say they'll lose completely.
There you go. There you go. We're out here campaigning, beating down doors to
Then
get
you-
support from McNigel and Jazz Cabbage over
Look,
here.
they fully have my support.
Do
just
you
not
have a
my
moment to talk about your Lord and Savior, McNigel and
Do you
Jazz Cabbage? All right.
Our first next team.
Yeah, next one. I don't get to talk about this one a whole lot because I'm involved. It's me and PDDCM versus Affin Show and Snowrise.
I'm pretty sure Afin Show and Sunrise are gonna take this one.
Yeah, I agree. I
He's
think.
going to steal the whole effing show. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is going to be an open and shut one.
Pun
Easy.
intended.
I completely agree with everybody else in this community that Bregan's gonna take a loss.
So, yeah, next match.
Yeah, let's keep it
I
going.
just want to say, let me just grab the mic like Macho Man Randy Savage style over here. Listen here, you psycho bursting wannabe. You're going down. And you're going down hard. All right, we can move
We'll
on
see.
now. Next matchup we have is actually, I think, going to be a fun one. It's going to be Jay and Murder Mastodon taking on Daffy Duck and Filthy Knigget. How about, let's see, Algol, you take this one.
Well, this is probably going to be my middle higher tier of what I'm looking forward to this next round. I really like the Jay and Murder combinations. I like their play style. And Filthy's a great guy. I say Daffy's the only one I'm a little bit weaker on, knowledge-wise. But yeah, I think this will be pretty decent matches. I'm predicting more of a 3-2-1, actually. I think that we're going to have
That
our first
close.
draw.
Yeah, I agree.
Our first draw. All right. Let's take it one further. Why is there going to be a draw? What is going to cause it?
I'm going to go with Palace.
I mean, what player ends up doing what that causes the draw?
I think Daffy's probably gonna maybe get one of his last couple of skills deleted and just kind of run around. I feel like that. might happen.
Lightning speed and just
Yeah,
run around
just
the
lightning
hell back.
speed. I feel that happening.
Lightning speed with dash.
All right. What do you think about this one, Kanye? What's your prediction?
I'd say it'd probably be 3-2. That's if Filthy is down on the drinking.
Yeah. That'll definitely help.
All depends
yeah,
on
it
how
would.
much alcohol he's had.
Yeah.
How much he consumes that day.
Wait, was he drunk at the last match? Because that
He's
was
drunk
amazing.
every
There.
Are you
Oh, never
implying
mind.
that he's ever been online when he's not drunk?
Not, if you hear his little signature glass jingling in the
With
mic,
ice cubes in it.
That's how I know he's joined the room. Is I'll just hear that little clink, and I'm like, "Hey, it's
You're like,
Filthy."
Right? You don't have the TV on. You just have your mic on.
I'm trying to
Like,
remember
oh,
what he
he's
always
in the room.
drinks. I can't remember what it is. I'm not very good
Like
with
bourbon?
alcohols.
I think.
bourbon. It's
Yeah,
bourbon.
Bourbon.
It should be the good old American drink, bourbon, right there. Filthy, an American man. Can Jay and Murder handle all that American? I don't know.
Man,
We'll
I
see.
kind of feel like just changing my how the games are going to go down just for that.
The all American man.
100% American bourbon, right there. We're actually going to save the next matchup for last because I know everybody's going to be real excited about that one. So we'll go down to Invoker of Legend and Kanye
Uh-huh.
versus Orange Baby and Game God. Why don't you take this one for us, Esper?
Oh, man, this is a tough one. Just because of the last match that I saw with Orange Baby and Game God not completely messing everything up, I have some sort of hope in them, but I still have to go with Kanye and Invoker on this one. I think Kanye is going to take this one probably 3-2 in Kanye's favor.
You think they'll have a worse record against Orange Baby and Game God than against Ebony and Savage?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to this one. I think they're going to be just complete dogfights, really, and they're just going to brutalize each other. But I'm actually going to give it to Invoker and them in a 3-1 favor, is what I feel like it's going to be.
I mean, I'm excited for this matchup. I think, yeah, you can't necessarily count them out because Orange Baby and Game God played a pretty good round one. But you really got to acknowledge the momentum of Invoker and Kanye coming off of round one with a win against the winner of the 1v1 tournament and against a team that's so notorious like Ebony and Savage are for being such a grind fest. And they played that game with them. They took them to the grind and they did it better.
Yeah.
So, I
That's
found that
true.
really impressive.
But Orange and Game God, they've got a more forward play style too. That's where I'm seeing it butting head to head. Just
Well,
they're
that's
going to get into
normally
it dirty early.
Kanye's and Invoker's
Yeah,
wheelhouse is that
yep.
style of gameplay, and that's what I'm saying. The adaptability
Well,
that they
and
were
that's
able to
that's
come
why I'm
in
saying.
and play Ebony and Savage's game and beat them at it when that's not even their normal style.
Yeah, I'll take
But
over
that's
right
also
now.
why I give it to them as the advantage.
Yeah,
They'll do better, but it's going to be brutal.
Yeah, I want everybody to know I don't really like hanging or none of that. It's just I wanted to stop them from the recall loop. That was it. This game I really like to just duke it out, fight like, and I know
Yeah.
Game God does too. Well, I know Orange Baby likes to put environmentals too, but nah, I know Game God likes to fight, and I'm looking forward to fighting.
All right, Kanye, this is your moment. The Macho Man Randy Savage microphone moment. What do you got to say to Orange Baby and Game God?
No, just good luck, and hopefully we'll be able to fight it out.
Listen here, Game God. Good luck.
Oh yeah,
Another All-American here.
All right, let's hit the next one. We got Mirage and Darcia, fresh off of a win, versus Ebony Scarface and Savage Sim. You want to take this one for me, Kanye?
All right. Well, I will see how they're gonna go against Savage and Ebony's playstyle because like I play against Ebony and Savage a lot, so that's why I kind of knew like what to bring for them, and a lot of people are not, I don't know, like ready for their style.
Yeah.
Especially like Mirage and Darcia, like they're kind of like new. I don't see them on that much, and we'll see if Ebony is going to change it up or he's going to just stick to his quantum decays or violent changes, and we'll see.
You got a prediction on it?
My prediction, I say probably 3-1.
Okay. You're saying 3-1 Ebony and Savage?
Yeah, and Ebony and Savage favor.
All right. I want you to tell me how Mirage and Darcia pick up the one. I just thought it might be an interesting question. Well, if you think it's going to be a 3-1, what did they win off the back of?
I say they double team Savage, get him out
Yeah.
the way first, and then they
Yeah.
go after Ebony.
You're saying take out the trash?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to say that. Savage is my friend, so I'm not gonna say all that.
Yeah, I think that's how it would go down. Is it would probably focus in on Savage and then focus in on Ebony, and then that'd probably be it right there.
Take him out to the curb and then focus on Ebony. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
See,
What's the
I'm-
rest you got
I'm
on this
actually-
one?
Yeah, I actually think that this is going to be where the second tie comes in. I'm going to call it. I think it's a 3-1, but that one's going to be a tie. I feel like it's going to get to the end type of thing, and oh, look at that! I got turbulence and stopped the engine going.
Yeah.
That'd be maybe it.
Okay.
So
Anybody have anything else they want to add to this one?
Uh, I'm
What do you
just gonna
think,
go ahead and say that I
Piper?
think Ebony and Savage is gonna take it 3-0.
Okay. Ebony and Savage 3-0.
Yeah, they're a very very strong team. They definitely got the synergy, and like everybody else has kind of said, Mirage and Darcy are fairly new.
Well, Mirage is a pretty old school player, to be fair.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I say when the
I didn't know
re-release
that.
came out, he was doing pretty well actually.
Oh.
Saw him drop for a little while.
Did not know that. Well, I take that back.
Okay. Well, let's hit our next matchup then. We've got Some Poor Choices and Kamikaze Mario versus Evolution and Gotrix. You want to take this one from me, Algol?
So this is my third most look forward to match, kind of tied with second actually. Played with all these guys; they're great. Mad respect to Poor Choices for putting up with Bregan for over an hour. Um, yeah. Side note: I actually put a time limit on this because, well, other stuff. Yeah, this one, I don't know how this one's going to go. This is kind of up in the air for me. I really like both teams and look forward to watching it.
All right. You got a prediction for it?
I really don't. I feel like if whoever's going to win, it's going to be a 3-2.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you're not going to give me who you think is going to win, then I have to know from you, what do Choices and Mario have to do to be the winner, and what do Evolution and Gotrix have to do to be the winner?
Well, seeing Poor Choices and Mario's playstyles, I feel like they might need to start pulling out some of the jank. That would be maybe my best guess, but this is a tough matchup. These guys are all vets, and like I said, I like the playing.
The yeah, because both teams actually could play Jank. Like I know both of them could play Jank. Evolution loves playing Jank. Gotrix, Poor Choices. Except for Mario, I never really see Mario playing Jank.
Yeah, I think
Except
he's
for
more
when he uses
straightforward.
Charge Diabolical Trick.
Oh, I didn't even know he plays that.
Yeah, I never seen him use that neither.
Well, I mean, you may not have seen much of him because he spent most of the time dead, but he did use it against me.
That makes sense.
Sorry, had to go there.
This is another tough match and another match I'm looking forward to. But yeah, I know Gotrix is kind of busy right now. He's over here in Vegas, and hopefully, if Gotrix is focused on this match, I say Evolution and Gotrix could take this 3-2.
Yeah, I see the same thing. I see if they work out the rust and Gotrix sharpens up on his skills, then they can go far and take this.
I think this
Well,
is
let me
for
ask you guys this then: are you
Go
guys
ahead.
projecting like a 0-2 and then a comeback, or mixed up?
I see a comeback. I think Evolution might have to kind of repeat what he did last match and kind of take a beating before he can just kind of crawl back up and just take the entire.
Yeah.
I would say, looking at it, that I think Evolution and Gotrix have right now the higher ceiling. Like they have the higher potential out of the four players involved here over Choices and Mario. But we saw a lot of, much like I referenced with you and Doom, I felt like their synergy was off, at least in that. We saw Gotrix wanting to kind of go to mid-range whenever he didn't need to be at mid-range sometimes, and
Yeah.
wanting to dig through his arsenal, and we saw Evolution grabbing 4 aura and a hyper kick and oftentimes neglecting a shield or any damage buffs and just following somebody with a hyper kick until the game was over.
Yeah.
And I feel like they need to get down some better in-game calls on whether they want to go aggressive or if they want to play until they have a better hand. Because I felt like that was one of the reasons they struggled in their round one, was some discord on that.
Yeah, that I agree with that. They definitely need to make some better in-game decisions as far as just rushing stuff or just waiting until you have the right hand to proceed, because that can make or break the game.
And when you're talking about synergy, like that's what Choices and Mario have in spades. They've played together a ton and for quite a while now. They're both good mechanical players as well. So they're not going to get run over mechanically, and they have that synergy. And so I feel like that would be what would make the difference for them in this matchup. So if Evolution and Goat aren't able to get that a little bit more coordinated, I'd have to favor Choices and Mario. But if they can straighten that out, I think Evolution and Goatrix have a little bit higher of a ceiling currently.
Did
Yeah,
it burn
same
to
here.
give him the recommendation? I said, did it burn giving him that recommendation?
Oh, come on. I talked Choices up really nicely at the end of our matchup.
Well, yeah, you got to prop him up after that beating.
Well said. All right. Our second to last matchup is actually going to be yours, Algol. It's Painted Lemon and Comrade Tut versus Algol, Mantis, and Sardonic Jester. Why don't you give me your thoughts on this one, Kanye?
I think it's gonna be Rio on Algo's favor.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it, Algol? Algol?
Algol.
Algo.
It name of the binary star is I'm a
Binary
nerd
star.
like that.
Hell yeah.
Algo
Okay.
Mantis.
Well, what about the non-binary star?
Uh,
I'm sorry. I'm not going to
No
bring
clue.
that into this. Okay. I won't bring that into this. All right. So a
did you
3-0.
just assume my constellation body?
All right, we're not going there. Kanye says a 3-0 for Algol and Sardonic Jester. I want to know why.
Well, since I played them the other day, they have a good pressure. Like, if they keep it up like that, then I'm confident they could win this one 3-0.
Yeah.
Okay. What a
Je-
painted lemon.
Jester's like, he's really good. First time I played him, I actually thought it was Esper. His jumping skills are pretty good.
Jester's
I'm
a solid
serious.
player.
And he
Yes.
is like he's really good jumper.
Okay. What do Painted Lemon and Comrade Tut have to do to pull out a win here? Even if it's just one map, what do these guys need to do to get their win? Esper.
Play jank.
Personally, I think what they have to do is to just not blind rush. And what I mean by that is not just at the beginning of the game with the first 3 skills that you have, just rush, because that's a fast way to get killed by these 2 players. They have to take their time and strategize and communicate to try and work around with what Mantis and Jester have, because they've got some pretty deadly combos and synergy working against them.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They have pretty good synergy.
All right, Algol.
See, these two are biased because we actually were playtesting decks and discussing stuff directly with them. I know with Kanye and Xanxus the other night, that was just great, but they've also seen me at my spiking good points, and that's not like a typical average run. Like Kanye, I know I was dropping those lasers on, what was it, Highway there? It was like 3 or 4 manually aimed in a row around my partner. Not typical.
Yeah,
Y'all
you're
just
on
pretend
point
like
that
that
day.
doesn't happen.
All right, Algol. Your Macho Man Randy Savage. What do you have to say?
This is going to be a 4-0, period.
There's not even that many matches.
But they're going to play that many just to rub it in.
Oh, okay.
All right. Before we break into our last matchup, can Ska Boss and SC War Machine 21 keep their momentum and pull out the win versus bye?
Versus bye.
I don't know. All I'm going to say is we're definitely going to be looking for them in the rest of this tournament just to kind of redeem ourselves a bit. But going to have to give it to them this time.
Got to give them the slight edge over by. All right. Jokes aside, let's move on to our last matchup. And this is the one that I'm sure everybody is going to be super excited about. We've been waiting for 3 tag tournaments now to see 2 of these players match up. It's going to be Esper51, who we have here with us, and Doomsday, otherwise known as iDoom, versus Xanxus and Zexus. So I'm not going to have anybody take this away necessarily. I'm going to introduce it, and then we're all going to discuss it. This is the storied matchup, kind of, the old mechanical god versus the new. iDoom, the king of pressure, teamed up with Esper51, one of the well-known kings of 1v1, two of the most high-pressure players in the game, versus one of the most storied teams of the re-release, Xanxus and Zexus, the defending champions of the last tag tournament. So let's get into it. What do you guys think?
I think we're going to see a lot of fake outs and manuals.
Definitely.
This is going to be one of those games that goes down in the history books. I really do think that.
Yeah.
If you guys play Phantom Dust, anyone new or old knows every single one of these players and knows what they're capable of. So, this is the part where we get to talk them up.
Yeah, this is going to be super fun. So maybe we'll just talk about each player in here. Kanye and Algol, especially on this one, because we're going to be talking about Esper. What does Esper need to do to find success for themselves in this matchup?
To be honest, Esper got what it takes. Like, he doesn't need anything else.
Kanye.
I think we're going to have to go back just a little bit, kind of what we were talking about with molding to each other's play styles. So everyone knows the joke. Ice Sword, you think of Esper. Little picture there, right there in the dictionary. But Xanxus and Zexus are usually going to be cartwheelers. Noticeably very difficult ones to hit as well. They're going to have to really plan and time everything out there. And that's not just with Ice Sword. That's going to be really with any of those. Obviously, we got to give Xanxus and Zexus credit. They have been playing together for probably years now, honing these arsenals and playstyle. It's going to be hard to overcome that.
All right, let's talk about Doom then. We can even feel this to Esper, if you feel comfortable talking about it. What do you think Doom needs to do in this series in order to take the W?
Oh, I'm sorry, my controller died. What did you guys say?
Said, what does Doom need to do in this series to get the W?
If you feel comfortable with that.
Oh, with me.
Anybody can answer this.
New
Personally,
partner.
I mean, it's just like I said, and everybody keeps saying it since we've been partnered up. It's just we have to keep working on our teamwork. We're personally we're very standoffish players. Whoever he gets paired up with, he kind of goes with his own thing, and it's the same thing for me. So we just have to keep working on that, and that's personally what is going to make me and him a great team, and we'll be able to take this. It's just that teamwork that we got to keep working on. Not to say that it's not there, but it could definitely get better.
Yeah, I don't think there's a higher pressure pair available in Phantom Dust, and it will be, in my opinion, down to that coordination as well, because individually you both put out more pressure than I think any other players do in this game. So if you guys can get that coordinated, I think it could be very, very tough to beat.
Definitely.
That said, let's talk about the other half of the matchup, Xanxus and Zexus. We've got highlight reels filled with these guys here. What do you think they need to do in order to pull out the win in this matchup?
Me?
Anybody. Kanye, Algol, Esper.
I'll take it off, and then you guys could follow up behind me. Personally, from playing Xanxus and Zexus, I feel the only thing they need to do is just not overthink what me and Doom are doing, because from the previous tournament I played against Xanxus, he kind of overthought what I was playing, and he completely just choked, and that's how I got the win over him. So I think if they just go with their instinct and just play what they naturally would play, they could do pretty good.
I kind of have to agree with that. I think that natural ability and just who's going to make the fewer mistakes, because as long as they both get their coordination right, both of these teams are super deadly. Like, that's no question there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Just how they play. Like they're always together. Like whenever one of them is getting attacked, there goes the other one. They're always together with their reincarnations.
Yep.
I say
Yep.
one thing I will bring up though, and it's kind of fits with the theme of the tournament. Esper and Doom typically don't play environments, and we've seen Xanxus and Zexus switch it up.
Wait,
before.
wait. No, Esper does.
Correction. I do typically play them, but because of the complaining that I get from everybody and everybody quitting and not wanting to play with me, I haven't played environmentals anymore.
That's true.
I was
just
gonna
wanna
say, you
make
told me
that
the other
clear.
day you stopped playing them pretty much.
Yes, because everybody quits, everybody leaves. Xanxus leaves, Exus leaves, anybody. So that's
Okay,
why
so you're
I
saying
personally
you have a
suck.
silver bullet skill against everyone at this point, then?
I'm saying I
But-
have arsenals that I don't use.
But that's good on your half, Esper, because that actually trained you like to play like a different style
Yes.
or like. So that I guess that worked out for you in a way.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, Bregan, let me ask you then. Do you think just a single environment can really turn the tide here for either side?
I don't think it'll be an environment that turns the tide here.
I don't think so neither.
But
I don't
it
think
could.
there's
I
gonna
mean,
be
we've seen
environmental.
Xanxus and Zexus run those kind of things. I don't think that Xanxus is going to want to do that in this matchup because I can tell you, for as much as we've ragged on him for never having to face Doom in any of the previous tournaments, he wants to face Doom.
Yeah,
And I think he kind of sees it as a personal challenge. He's had wins and losses versus Guinan. He's had some great rounds and wins versus me. And he hasn't played Doom, and he sees Doom as very much the same kind of player he is. Whereas Guinan and me play different kinds of play styles. Doom is a high-pressure, extremely vanilla, mechanical player that will just tear you a new one. And Xanxus plays a very similar style. Mostly all about the attacks and defenses, and he doesn't like to get into the dirty stuff. And they both tend to run a lot of turbulence to deal with other people if they think that they're going to bring dirty stuff. And so for him, I think it's a big proving ground. He wants to show that the player everybody's compared him to, he can take down. So
here's my
I don't think there
prediction.
will be an environmental.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there's gonna be any environmental.
I mean, there
I
might be
think
like
it's
an
gonna be all-out
optimization
brawl.
or a lunar force, but
Mm.
I don't
Oh,
think
yeah,
there's going
yeah.
to be anything,
Yeah.
restrictive.
Yeah,
Yep,
I see a lunar
exactly.
force coming from them, 100%.
Because I know all these players, and I know Xanxus and Zexus love to fucking brawl it out. I know Doom hates to hang too, so I
Yeah.
guarantee there's gonna be an all-out brawl right here.
Yeah, I'm super excited. This is the matchup I've wanted to see for several tournaments. I think any of the top players against each other is always exciting, but there's just something special about the idea of the two top level mechanical tag players finally getting to go head to head. And I don't even think they've played very many pickup games against each other. Like they're kind of been ships passing in the night, tournament wise, and just in pickup games. And I'm so excited to get some footage of these guys just slugging it out. And it's got to be possibly the matchup I'm most excited to see in any tournament right here. And
I agree.
I wish
I
it was later in the
absolutely
tournament, to see these guys towards the end duking it out for elimination. But I am just as excited, I think, to see it here even in round 2.
By the same token, though, if we see an upset and, they're out for blood, say Esper and Doom take it, that does put Xanxus and, Zexus in a pretty precarious position at that point. We could be looking at an elimination depending on who they went up against after.
Yeah.
Because both teams, as demigod as they both are, both have bled at this point.
It's
So,
true.
I mean, games can happen.
It's true.
All I gotta say is, whenever this match is gonna be, I'm gonna call in sick on that day. Call in. I'm like, you know what? I can't make it to work. I'm not feeling good.
Connie's like Planet Hollywood. I hope you're not listening.
Right?
All right, Esper. I know
Yes.
this may be tough for you, but I'm going to ask you to channel that inner Hulk Hogan, that inner Macho Man Randy Savage. What do you have to say for these peasant posers, Xanxus and Zexus?
This is no problem for me to say at all. Just want to say Xenxus and Zexus, you guys are going down. It's just going to be like another game for us, and we're just going to take this. That's it. That's it.
Oh shit.
Oof. Hey
Esper
Kanye,
with
you
the
got any
brutal trash talk?
you got any idea on like win-loss on these guys, or
Nah,
what kind of
I
games we're
can't.
gonna expect?
No.
I want you all to nail down a prediction,
four of 'em are
and I want you to
friends,
tell me
nope.
why. You're not getting out of here without a prediction.
Nope.
I wanted
sorry.
something else to go.
You
No
got to give me a
prediction,
prediction, and you got to tell me why. Kanye, who takes the
Nope.
series and why? You got to tell me.
I'm gonna
Just
be
want to
stubborn.
say,
Nah,
I'll tell
come
you
on,
right now,
man.
I'm
whoever
be
says that
stubborn.
we're
Even
gonna
if you're
lose.
not sure, I want you to
All
give me a
four are my
prediction.
friends. Nope. I can't. Like, this is hard. Like, this is one of the matches, like, you don't know, like, both teams are, like, to me in my eyes, because I'm a newcomer, like, to me, these guys are, like, they're all good, like, it's gonna be hard for me. I can't say. I'm sorry.
Come on.
Yeah, right.
Even if you're not sure and you're flipping a coin, give me the
Nobody,
record
I
and who.
can't. I think to me, it's gonna be one of those moments you're like, no way, like, it's gonna be, yeah. That's why I'm gonna call in sick.
All
I
right.
say regardless of who wins or how it goes down, the legend's just gonna keep going on for all these players. Like I'm talking them all up, but like I said earlier, everyone's heard of them. Everyone knows what they're capable of.
Yeah.
We just need to see it in action at this point.
All
It's
right,
gonna be my
Algol, then you
screensaver.
need to be nailed down and give me a prediction. If Kanye isn't man enough, isn't American enough, isn't bourbon enough to do so.
Yeah.
Oh man.
See.
Mantis, 1v1 if you say the wrong thing.
The record and why.
Yeah, but 1v1, I go like 2-25 against you. I don't think I've beat Xanxus.
Okay, all right. I'll be waiting in the other room after this.
I mean, I had to invoke Shadow
Damn.
Shield a little bit, but you know, those surprise one-hit kills. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna just going off what Esper said because he says that they do need to improve their teamwork a little bit, so it's not quite there. I'm gonna actually give it to Xanxus and Zexus, I think, this first one. Probably a 3-2, and every single game to the wire.
What's your prediction, Bregan?
I want you to tell me.
Is it
I
tough?
guess you did kind of say you favored their experience together. I was gonna say why you wanted the 3-2. All right, you want my prediction? You want my prediction? I don't give predictions, but I will descend from my throne of
Applies.
hostship, and I will grant you a prediction. Xanxus and Zexus are gonna lose this series because they are pretenders to the throne of Tag Kingdom that is ruled by Doom now and forever.
I like that. I'll take that over Mantis.
Shut up, Esper. You're not even in this match.
Fuck you.
Well, you heard me earlier. The way for Doom to win this is to get a new partner. Last minute substitution.
Oh yeah, I hear guidance still available.
Damn.
See about that round 2 substitution.
You know what? We would have a much better way of predicting this. Can you tell us the match level that you guys want to take them on? Or are you going to save that until the day?
I think they should save it. They don't need to tell him early. No need
Wait,
to give
what
him
was
anything
that?
extra. He wants to know what level you want to start on.
If you wanted to.
Oh. I don't know.
Esper
I
will
haven't even
pick
put any thought into
Palace.
that.
I'm pretty sure Palace, because Doom.
I mean,
and
Doom's
Esper
the same
love
way.
Palace.
Yeah, Doom
Yeah.
loves Palace. He's probably going to choose Palace.
Probably Palace. I haven't really thought about it. I just
That's
found
a
out the
jumper's
matchups today.
paradise. Come on now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun matchup. It's possibly the most iconic matchup we could have. The only way it could get more hype is if you somehow shoved like me or Guinan in there too and made it some sort of dirty 3-way.
Oh,
Save it for PD2.
for PD2.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be tons of fun to watch, and I do have a really hard time calling it, but I'm going to have to go with my faith in Doom, our Lord and Savior of Phantom Dust.
So just to nail it down, numerically speaking, what was that breakdown again?
3-2.
3-2.
I'll give it a 3-2. You can't count out Xanxus and Zexus. You know, they've got tons of synergy, fantastic players, but I believe in Doom. 2019. All right. Well, I think that wraps us up. Unless anybody else has any extra topics or questions they'd like to hit up on here. Anybody got anything they want to go over? What do you got, Kanye?
I got one more. Yeah. All I gotta say is playing Phantom Dust was a choice.
That was not a topic. All right. Does anybody have a topic?
Oh yeah, I do have one
sorry.
thing actually, Bregan, and
Yeah.
this was in our little conversation. I think Blood Echo brought it up on YouTube.
Oh goodness.
Just when I was asking if, say you had
Are we
annoying
really
gifted
discussing
someone.
Trigger right now?
Oh yeah, yeah. Obviously, if you force your opponent to hang, it's a restart. Just getting it out there, you don't instantly win that game. Because I was thinking of that deck.
The
just
scenario he is entertaining here, for those who aren't in the loop, is that if they have an Enviro in their hand, or you use Annoying Gift to give them an Enviro, and then your partner were to use Trigger and cause them to lay said Enviro, which they would have to time while they were running over a breakable piece of terrain, if it would cause a loss
too
because
much.
they hung an environmental.
That's too much work.
If it happened, you would need to replay the match because that is statistically ridiculous and get out.
Hey, it's easy on Palace and like Highway. You know, the ground's there.
Not
Obviously,
always.
It's not though.
It's like
see,
it's like there
you're taking a
30% of the
chance.
time.
So much of taking a chance. Right
Not to
there.
mention you'd still have to time it and set it up, and why? Honestly, why?
Super vital information, man.
All right, that topic is done forever. Please never speak of it again. All right, does anybody have any final words, such as whatever it was a choice?
I just got one thing to say before this ends. Don't appreciate Doom's greatness overshadowing me. Esper 51 lives matter, so just keep that in mind next time you guys make a video or a podcast and mention me as a tag partner. Because lately, in this little meta that's been going on, all I hear is Doom, and I don't appreciate that.
Okay, well, I'm just going to come out on record right now.
That's exactly what
Next
I went
tag
through the
tournament,
whole
Esper,
time.
you and me.
Esper,
Okay.
I would like to ask you a counter question. If Esper 51
Counter
lives
question.
matter, then why didn't Doom bother picking up your sorry ass on sign?
Well, that's because he died.
All right. Thanks for coming, everybody, and we will catch you next time.